So, Border Force boat fleet axed from patrolling the channel for vessels used to service wind farms. So, the huge operation, which we're all aware of, has been left to a fleet of private vessels normally used for servicing wind farms. And the context being that this costing the taxpayer £36 million a year. So it turns out, and I wasn't aware of this, the Border Force has 5 cutters, which are sort of fast boats, that they use to patrol the waters and help stop the fleets and fleets of small boats coming over from France. But it appears those 5 cutters have literally been overworked. And they're going to replace it with these catamarans that are not so well used, but are used for servicing wind farms. So that's the context of the story. But even further context to that is that there have been 604 small boats incidents in the last year. 544 of them were intercepted by commercial transfer vessels, with the rest being carried out by the RNLI. So Border Force itself isn't actually having to do a tremendous amount of that operational work at sea. Obviously they do when it gets back to land. So I'm not...
Do they?
Well... That's the question, isn't it? So I think the story here, the why of this story, is do they? What is going on? Why are we spending 36 million more pounds on this problem and it doesn't seem to be resolving it? It took me a while to come to that conclusion because I read this story a couple of times and thought, I'm not entirely sure what the story is here. OK, bad boats replaced by good boats.
Well, they haven't. No, that's the point, is that they haven't replaced... They've replaced them with a private force.
Yeah.
So the story here, Lewis, surely is we don't have a border patrol. Britain does not have our own boats on board. Of course, people are going to come over and try and come over on boats if we don't have a national border patrol.
But from what I've read, there are in the previous boats, they were manned by a private crew, but there was a border patrol guy on it, and I think there's going to be a border patrol on it. The news story is 36 million pounds. Is that the government has to pay 36 million pounds to get more and bigger, newer boats not to patrol it. That is that big patrol that's picking the people up. There is no control.
Well, exactly. Yeah. So, arguably, then, Paul, the story is also about how there's just been a total lack of long-term investment in this country, and as usual, we get to a point where it ends up costing us more because someone didn't work all this out 10 years ago.
It's similar to paying
schools,
16,000 apartments, 5,000, whatever, 5 years worth of apartments in one go.
There we go.